guys. Houston Performance and Restoration.
Hey guys, it's Jason with JWClassicVW, and we are back in the garage. If you caught the previous video, you saw that we pulled out the transmission out of Goose, the 5-speed Berg transmission. It was kind of mocked up in there so I could kind of figure out where to weld in those Berg mid-mount 5-speed tabs. There's a support that goes up underneath the Berg 5-speed that keeps it kind of like where it needs to be, because there's a lot more power involved on this particular transmission and engine combination. And if you didn't know, we're doing a 300 plus horsepower EFI turbo build for my baby Goose. Let me turn you guys around and show you kind of like what's been going on. So yeah, we took the transmission over to HPR, which is Houston Performance and Restoration, and dropped it off with Richard Trent and his team. They're gonna be going ahead and doing the hardened keys, the key install. But what I've been doing is getting the welding sorted out on the tabs. And let me go ahead and light up a little bit. I got to go ahead and clean this up some more still and take another look at it, but I've got it about where I want it around the back side too. Let me see if I can get you guys into position there. Up underneath, I got to clean it up some more, take a look and see if there's anything else I want to do for cleaning up these welds. But I'm pretty happy with the way it is right now. It's not super pretty, but for using my Lincoln Weld Pack POS welder, it does a pretty good job. So I got to clean this all up, prime and paint it. I still got to weld the other side still. But today we're also going to be doing, well, finishing up some of the fuel line stuff. Not too much more to go on the fuel lines to get them completed from the front of the tank back to the back. We've done so much work for this EFI turbo build to make sure that the fuel system was secure, safe, and, you know, built the way I wanted it to be built. Of course, there might be some upgrades down the road because, well, with anything that I've been doing, upgrade path is there's tons of upgrades, tons of upgrade paths in the future. So we're going to be working on maybe the tabs a little bit, but probably more so the fuel system. So the transmission is off, getting some work done to it that needs to be done. I probably have that back in a week or so. Richard over there, man, he said he can get right on and get it done for me pretty quick. It was really based off my timeline, in which I got a little timeline. I got some stuff to do. Let's get underneath Goose real quick, and I'll show you what's going on with the fuel system today and where I kind of plan on mounting the flex fuel sensor and the 10 micron fuel filter. Come on, guys, let's get underneath Goose. All right, guys, now you can see what's going on. Up into this area, and right here is about where I'm thinking the fuel filter will be. And up in this area, up about right here, is where the flex fuel sender is going to be. Something like this. About like that. I might need to make a plate up to kind of mount it to. I'm thinking, maybe. I don't know yet. Maybe something like this. Put a couple 90s on it. I still haven't figured that out yet. That's the tough part. Figuring out how to get this thing mounted in a way that makes sense. There might be a couple 90s. Like a 90 with a flex line going right into there. Yeah, kind of like how I got 90s back here. Let's see, the fuel filter. I might be able to do that. I got this little coupler for it, so I can do one of these numbers. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, and then I could have that mounted right there. Hey! Now what are we gonna do with the flex fuel cylinder? I like the fuel filter right there. Let me bring you guys up so you can see it better. Yeah, I like that spot for the fuel filter because this is both of the feeds. The feed for the fuel, and the return is on the top. Oh.
All right, guys, so I was in the midst of doing the flex fuel sensor, and I kind of jumped around and doing some of the filming for the video. I had to order some 180s that I have not had a chance to play with yet underneath Goose. But I did move on with some other things with the fuel system, and we're going to go ahead and start with that. Let's move to the front of the car, and I'll show you exactly what I was working on. I had to flip some things around and get things set up. But yeah, I think you guys are going to like it. And then I'll get back to the flex fuel sensor install in the next video. So let's go to the back of the car, guys, and actually the front of the car and show you what's going on. Hey guys, what's going on? We're about to do some fitting stuff when it comes to sensors, and we're working on the fuel pressure sensor for our fuel system right now. I picked up these Phoenix sensors because they're a little bit cheaper, but they also have the same properties and parameters as some of the more expensive sensors. So check out the description below if you need to pick up a sensor for oil and or fuel. These things are made in the USA as well. So pretty cool, up to 150 PSI, as you can see right there. Cool. And what am I using to make this resistant to fuel? It's one of my go-tos because I don't ever plan on taking this apart and I don't want it coming loose, is red Loctite. So the thing with red Loctite is you usually got to heat it back up if you want to break it loose. And when we're talking about these sensors like this and doing like fittings, -6 or -8, it's recommended that you have a spacer or a block. So we're going to go ahead and space off the actual sensor off the fitting like this. You don't want it going directly down into the housing because I guess that can jack with the readings. I was thinking more like it would possibly jack with the flow, but I don't think so. I don't think it would jack with the flow. So we're going to go off recommendations and add this little spacer. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to do the Loctite and then add this to it. Do a little time lapse because it's 150 million degrees in the garage right now with the fan off. So be back in 1 second. actually this is where the fuel cell would be, but I took it out so we could go ahead and give you guys a better shot. And let me tell you what, setting up the camera for this shot was a little bit of a pain in the butt. Right here is the 100 micron fuel filter from Evil Energy. It's all stainless steel on the inside, and I replaced all the O-rings with the proper O-rings for flex fuel. On the bottom side here, you can see that I used the brake bracket for my fuel line bulk fittings. And right here I got a 45 bulk fitting. It's straight on this side, and then 45 is on this side down to the hard lines. We got it all set up. We got the fuel pressure sensor all set up with the red Loctite, so we should be good to go. We're gonna go ahead and put it in place now, and we're getting to the point where some of this stuff is not going to be coming off again, and this is not coming off once it's in here, as long as we don't have any problems with it anyway. And I want to check, like I want to put it in so that I can see if my plug comes off and on, you know, easily without too much of a pain in the butt. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see that. I'll take a look at it. Right in there. Sweet. We'll just leave that on. We're gonna be having wiring coming eventually. I'm not gonna say soon, but eventually. Just tight enough. Nothing crazy. This line right here comes from the fuel pump. So straight off the fuel pump should give us a pretty accurate reading of what our fuel pressure is. It's good. Good. This comes from the bottom of the fuel tank right here. You can go ahead and tighten that up while we're in here. That's not coming off either. Cool. Bueno. Whew, it is warm, it is hot down here. All right, guys, we're gonna step away from the video for 1 second to remind you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Guys, there's like, I don't know, 40 to 50% of you guys that are not subscribed, but you're watching. So don't forget to hit the little button off to the side to enable notifications and subscribe. Now back to the video, guys. More fuel line stuff. All right, guys, we're about to put the gas tank in here and get ready to fit up the vent. You guys saw me drilling out the vent bulkhead fitting. We've got quite a bit of other stuff done, as you can see. I've got the second line in, the top line here, this one that goes up. That's the return line. So we got that in for the bottom of the tank. We already talked about the feed line. I put in the hold to hold down the fuel line feed going to the bottom over here through the fuel pressure sensor. Yep. The reason why I did that is because my strut bar is here. There's a strut bar there, and that's the dampener. It was kind of rubbing on a little bit, but now that I have it pulled down out of the way with this hold, and I used a one of my riv nuts. I've got a riv nut in there holding it in place. So cool. If I need to remove it, it's not a big deal. I like the riv nuts because you got threads. They're pretty awesome. I use it also for mounting the 100 micron fuel filter. So cool. Very cool, man. Looking nice and clean up underneath here. Right. Let's get the fuel tank in here and get this vent kind of set up. Alright, we're working on the vent now. I've got a 45 right here, and then I got just a straight down here. And I think that I can make that work, no problem. It'll be something like this. Go ahead and mark this off with some tape, and then we'll get it cut, put the fittings on. There we go. Let's go. Get the fittings put on. Oh yeah, guys. Oh yeah, I am definitely liking the soft line vent. It turned out super nice. Definitely like it. I was worried about how far it would stick out, but I like exactly how it is, man. That is pretty sweet. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Beautiful. Well, guys, this has been a few days, and I turned off the fan so you could hear me better, but oh my goodness, it is so hot in here. I ordered some 180s for the flex fuel sensor, and you guys saw that back there. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the video, but we did get quite a bit done on the front of the car. The vent, the rest of the lines on the front, the fuel pressure sensor. I still haven't welded in the rest of the tabs on the one side for the Berg 5-speed, but we did get it dropped off so that Richard, Trent, our guys over there at Houston Performance Restoration could get the hardened keys, the shift forks inside of the transmission installed for me, and then we can move on. But we did get a lot done, guys. The fuel system is I would say is 95% done, and we only have pretty much the little interconnects at the back of the engine off the bulkhead. Let me show you real quick. These high flow 90s back here, these bulkhead fittings, we got to do the little short jumps off of those into the injector manifolds. So good stuff, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. But as for today, guys, I think that's gonna do it. Don't forget to comment below if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and I'll get back to you. It's time to go to the gym, man, and sweat it up there. I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Jason with JWClassicVW, and I appreciate all your guys' support. See you next time, guys.